Welcome, everybody. Week 3 recap of the fantasy football season. This is our third installation of the Fantasy Football Podcast. Let's get straight into it. With us today is special guest Carson Nay is in the building here for our third week. Carson, any wise words before we begin
I got screwed over. So
with our week 3 scores? First, let's talk about Evan absolutely clearing Freaky Low. All right, 145 to 111. This was a huge performance from Tappy's receivers. Both Puka and AJ Brown dropped about 24 points each. And it also was a great effort from Caleb Williams against the Cowboys. He drops 34 points. I feel like the biggest problem with Logan was the lack of wide receiver production. Obviously, he had Romeo Dobbs in, which is never going to be a great start, but he also had Jamar Chase in, and Jamar had a rough game against the Vikings with Jake Browning in at quarterback. And I think there's lots of room for concern for Jamar's future without Joe Burrow at the helm. Noah, what are your thoughts on this game?
So Tappy with nice bounce back win for Tappy. He was 0-2. He needed this. And fun fact, Tappy actually has one of the most point totals in the league right now. He has more than UConn by 4. I just checked. So for Logan, he has to really find an identity with these wide receivers. We'll get into some of the trades he made a little later, but trying to find that identity.
obviously with Logan, you're looking at Lamar, J.K. Dobbins, Pittsburgh defense. I mean, rough week for Logan. So Tappy went out. He had AJ Brown popped off. Just acquired him in a trade, and I think Puka Nacua is the best receiver in the league right now. So good week for Tap.
Ryan beats Chase. This was, a big divisional game for both these guys. They're both 1-1 going into this. I think many of us expected Chase to win, but Ryan comes out victorious. This was mainly due to the lackluster primetime performances from both Malik Neighbors and Zay Flowers. Even Sam Laporta didn't have that great of a game. This was a huge win for Ryan. Carson, you were 1-1 going into this week as well. Obviously, you weren't as fortunate as Ryan was. But how important was it to win this game and remain over 500?
Honestly, it's essential. I mean, looking at Chase's team, every year he's good in fantasy. He's got a good squad, and for Ryan to go out there and beat him, I mean, it does send notice to the whole league, honestly. Cortland Sutton, 29 points. I mean, come on. Kyron, 19. I mean, good week for Ryan. Proud of him.
Good win for Ryan. Needed this one. In my opinion, Chase made a horrible trade with that Pollard for Hampton because now he's screwed. I mean, Pollard isn't that bad, but he also gave up Shakir. I mean, Chase's team is just not that good, in my opinion. I mean, he has Jacobs, who's been putting up 10 points a week. It's going to do you a lot of good when your first round pick, Malik Neighbors, is putting up 3.3. And then your wide receiver, too, is an actual wide receiver, too. So, no identity. Hopefully, Zay can just go for 30 every week, and that's how he gets his points, but not looking good
It,
for him right now.
Noah, you have a lot of guts talking smack about Josh Jacobs in front of Carson.
That's crazy. Yeah, you can't. I mean, my boy last year, he probably went 6 games in a row with 20 plus points. Come on.
Let's move on to a more boring game. You got Donovan beating Zach. This was a surprise to nobody. Even Donovan had nothing but confidence going into this week. Last week, he wins this one 124 to about 88. Zach just doesn't have the roster to be competing with the big dogs. It seems like Donovan is the front runner in this division, despite not having the best record. We'll get to that in a bit later. Obviously, we're always going to go back to that week 1 controversial ending against Noah. Some say Donovan should be 3-0. That's not my story to tell. Noah, you're in this division. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Zach, Zach's team is rough. I mean, I don't know when he's gonna win another game. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but his team is rough. Don has a pretty good team. Bucky Irving, some questions about his efficiency. I don't think Swift is that good.
Wow. Wow.
Chicago Bears #1 in run blocking in the league, and Swift is 32 in yards per attempt.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion, Donovan has a good team. I don't want to believe he does, but sometimes you just got to admit something you don't want to believe. Honestly, I was pulling for Zach just because, you like to see the underdog win sometimes. But Donovan, he's got Gibbs, so he had a big game. Garrett Wilson. I mean, Kincaid on Thursday night, 18 points. Couldn't, and nothing more you could ask for. Donovan there. I have to play him next week, so I'll be ready for that.
Let's move on to what we thought was the matchup of the week. Mr. Stu was right about this. We had him as our picker with the headgear. He picked me, and he was correct. I beat Lem. This one was never really close after CD Lamb went down with the injury. kind of a disappointing performance from Lem. I mean, I kind of had an average, kind of solid week, but I mean, it was nothing too flashy. This was just, it seemed like Lem lost this game. I mean, this was a good win for me. It brings me to 3-0. It puts me 2 games ahead of every single other player in this division.
Yeah, good one for you here. 120, always a good score to be putting up. Lamb just kind of unlucky with CD Lamb going out in the first quarter and putting up 0. I mean, if CD Lamb plays, probably another 20 and he wins by 2, but you can't really speculate on that. So tough loss for Lamb. He's gonna have to move on, and his running back core is Jace Brown is not looking good.
Honestly, I don't know how Colin does it every week. I mean, you're going up guys that are putting up 100, bro. Like, you got a good team, but I don't know that defense. I guess it's you. I mean, who else could it be? You might have some magic behind the screen, bro. But you got Josh Allen, you got McCaffrey, two pretty solid players, 3-0. So it's a good start.
Now, let's talk about our two hosts. First, let's start off with my co-host, Noah. He takes down the winless Joe. Joe moves to 0-3, now the only winless team that remains. I mean, this was just another bad performance from Joseph. Noah puts up a solid 118. Joe puts up 90, and 90 is just never going to win you any games.
Never.
BTJ continues to struggle. I do salute Joseph holding on to BTJ. I was talking to him. He said he still believes in him. And I appreciate that as a coach. You got to believe in your players. But I mean, you got to wonder how many times he's going to let BTJ burn him before he cuts ties.
Joe does have a big problem there with BTJ. I mean, Shane Waldron as the passing game coordinator, you're cooked. He's cooked everyone. So it might be time to trade him. And I need a quarterback. So please send me trades.
In my opinion, I think Noah is 3-0, but he's not up there with the big dogs just yet. I mean, beating Joe, not a good win. He's winning games. He's winning ugly, as they like to say.
The final game was between Mickey and our special guest Carson. This was a battle for the ages, another high-scoring brawl from Carson. And Carson, he won the last time he was in a high-scoring affair. This one doesn't go his way. Mickey comes out 160 to 147. And wow, the new additions for Mickey went crazy. Jonathan Taylor, Omarion Hampton, and Jake Ferguson all have big performances. And to tie it all together, Amon-Ra pops off on Monday Night Football, closes it out after a bit of a scare. This was a huge week for Mickey. As we said before, going 0-3 can hurt bad. This was a huge win for Mickey. He picks up a nice divisional win. Carson fails to go over 500. Tough loss for Carson, but I mean, this was still a good performance from him. I don't think you can have any doubts on the talent of his roster. Other concerns, though, Mickey. I mean, James Conner is done for the season. He suffered a bad injury. He had to get carted off the field. He's donezo. He's already been cut from Mickey's team.
Oh, obviously, I scored the second most points in the whole week, and I lost. I mean, I can't complain. I did probably as good as I could do. Picking up Minnesota's defense, 33 points. I mean, unbelievable. I thought everything went my way, and it just didn't. I played the best team that week. Starting off on Monday night with that touchdown by Henry, I was feeling great, and then Amon-Ra just slowly gets some catches, got that touchdown, and it was the nail in the coffin right there. Shout out to Jonathan Taylor and Omarion Hampton. Ripped my heart apart. I mean, Omarion Hampton, I don't know where this guy comes from. 8 points, something like that, 4 points, and then he drops 25 on me. Jalen Hurts bounce back game. Noah said he couldn't throw the ball. Look what he did. He threw 3 touchdowns. I mean, come on. And James Cook, he's looking like the best running back in the league, maybe behind Jonathan Taylor now, 20 plus all 3 weeks. So it was a good week for me. Just couldn't squeeze it out.
Let's move on to all the trades this week. There were 3 major ones. Obviously, trades are going to be a very important part of fantasy football, and they are especially important in this league with how many there are. 3 big trades. Let's start off with probably the biggest one. Joe and Logan made a trade the other night. Joe received Lamar, J.K. Dobbins, and Travion Henderson. In return, Logan gets Dak, G&T, Terry McLaurin, and Quentin Johnston. Immediately, I thought Joe won this trade. And looking back on it, I still think Joe won this trade. I think Dobbins and Henderson are both going to be good fantasy running backs. I just feel like Joe won this trade just off the fact that he got Lamar Jackson. I think he's the best player in this trade, and he might just be the best player in fantasy football.
In my opinion, I agree. I think Joe wins the trade. I mean, outsiders looking at this trade might argue that Logan wins the trade because in the end he did acquire Jaden Daniels. So he does get back an elite quarterback after giving away Lamar. But I just feel like Lamar's on another level. So I have to go Joe just because he's giving away McLaurin and Genty and Dak. all guys that have been hurting his team. He needed a fresh start. How about get the best player in all fantasy? So nice little reboot by Joe. I like what he did.
I like what Joe did here. I mean, fresh start first team. I like what Nate's saying about that. Getting rid of Genty and Terry is probably a good decision. Terry hasn't really shown up through the first 3 weeks, and neither is Genty. That Raiders O line is terrible, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has like a wear and tear. Like they stopped giving him so many carries towards the end of the season, and then Dak's
Ooh.
actually playing pretty good, so he's startable. Quentin Johnson, I don't think he's playable because that Chargers receiver core is so stacked that any one of the three, him, Keenan Allen, Lad could get the ball anytime, any week. So I don't love that for Logan, but I do like what Joe's doing. I don't think Trevion Henderson is startable right now, but I think the other two are. So this should be a move in the positive direction for Joe.
After that massive trade, Logan ends up pivoting soon thereafter. There was a big hole at quarterback. He goes and trades Travis Etienne to Evan Tappy, who we know since he auto drafted, he's loaded with quarterbacks. He took like four of them in a row in that draft. He gives Logan Jane Daniels and in return grabs Travis Etienne. Honestly, I don't think there's a clear winner here. I think this was a good move from Logan. Obviously, you got to get one of those top quarterbacks. I feel like Daniels could be that guy. He was last year. He hasn't been quite that this year. He's also been hurt. We don't know if he's going to play this week. But I mean, I feel like this was a good move from Logan. I don't think he necessarily won this trade.
I think this is one where it's kind of like too soon to tell because it kind of depends what ETN's role is going to be moving forward with a two in behind him. So kind of depends on that and depends on whether Jane Daniels is going to be healthy. So I think too soon to tell on this one.
I'm just gonna go out and say it. Logan won the trade, getting Jaden Daniels for ETN. I mean, it's Jaden Daniels. I know he was out, but I hate ETN. Like I hate him. Why is he in the NFL? Like I had him last year, horrible. And now they got that rookie Tootin or Tutton, whatever you want to call him in there. He's getting the carries. He got a touchdown, high upside rookie. So I'm going. Logan wins the trade.
The final trade we're going to cover here happened right after school today. It was between me and Mickey. Mickey received Emeka Egbuka and Jordan Mason. I received the Amon-Ra St. Brown. The immediate reaction in the group chat once people found out about this trade, they were not happy. They thought I clearly won this. I'm not going to give too much of my opinion whether I won or lost this. But I mean, my logic was I have a bunch of wide receivers kind of near Emeka's level. Why not pair Emeka and one of my better running backs together to get one of those elite guys at receiver?
Immediately, I thought, damn, you really fleeced him there. I mean, giving away Jordan Mason and Ibuka, and you get Amon-Ra. So I've always been like the guy where it's like 2-for-1s. You're always 2-for-1s. You're always like giving away like lesser players to get one of the elite players. Clearly got Amon-Ra, who's one of the elite players. No diss on Ibuka or Mason. They're good players. But if it were me, I would have done that trade as well. I think it's a clear win. Amon-Ra, catch upside, touchdown upside, all of it. He's a clear fantasy winner. So it's a good trade for you.
I like this trade actually for both teams. I think Colin's team is more loaded with talent than Mickey's, but Mickey needed more starters. So, especially with the James Conner injury, Mickey's really needed to fill that running back spot. So he adds Ibuka, who's a very serviceable wide receiver right now. He's going to be the one, at least for next week. Depending on when Godwin comes back, he'll be the one for longer. And then he adds Jordan Mason as an RB1 in his running back room. So I think, honestly, it was not that bad of a trade for Mickey as he gets two starters.
All right. Let's crack this case open. Let's get into the AP
book, bro.
Let's get into the AP coaches ranking. What we're all here to see. Let's dive straight into it. Another good week where coaches voted from all around the league. And these were the rankings that these coaches came up with. At number 12, a surprise to probably nobody, we have Zach. He moves down a spot. He had another dud of a week. He is 1-2. But, I mean, you just take a look at his roster, and there is nobody besides Saquon Barkley. I mean, I fear for Zach. I think he needs to make a lot of moves, and he needs to make them quick. If you're going 1-2 in that week of a division, you better make a pivot quick because you got a lot tougher competition coming your way.
Yeah, Zach's team is not good.
I think he's got two unks at receiver. I mean, come on. He's got Evans and Metcalf. I don't like either of them. He's got Travis Hunter. I don't like him. Oh, I like Zach as a manager. I don't think the team is good at all. So
I'm going to put you on the spot here, Carson. What about Zach as a manager do you like?
he has a lot of heart and he trusts his players. Every week he's down 51%. Every time he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you." So I gotta give it to him.
So let's move to number 11. We have somebody who moved up a spot. It's Joseph. Despite another bad week and another loss, he's 0-3. He moves up, and I don't think this one was necessarily earned by Joe. I think Zach is just so bad that you got to think Joe is a bit of a better team. I mean, his roster is definitely better than Zach's. His players have just underperformed so far. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of worry. You're 0-3. Now you got to start worrying about making the playoffs. I mean, I think Joe has done a good job pivoting. He made that big trade with Logan, which I think he won. I think Joe is in a better spot now than he was last week. But I think he can come back from this. I truly do.
I mean, not much to say on Joe's team. He's better than Zach, but he isn't moving in the right direction. And finally, but there's nothing on paper yet.
I don't really like Joe's team at all. I remember going into the preseason, bro was hyping up these random players. I was like, "What are you doing?" And I guess he said he had it under control. Guess it's not working out for him.
And I think this is a perfect example of why you don't let TikTok draft your fantasy team. I'm interested to see who TikTok tells Joe to put on his team from the waivers. He does have number 1 waiver priority. You got to imagine it's going to be that guy in Las Vegas. But let's move to number 10. There was no movement here, despite being the highest scorer, picking up his first win. It's Mickey. And honestly, I would try to move him a little higher. I'm not exactly sure where I personally put him. 10 makes a little bit of sense. I mean, these coaches, they see this high performance, but I think they did a good job not overreacting. I mean, what these coaches look for in particular when it comes to a good team is consistency. Obviously, ceiling matters, but consistency. You got to have a high floor. You got to constantly put up good numbers. That's what's going to get you big wins.
I really like Mickey's team, especially after that Amon-Ra trade. I think I ranked him like 8th. I think he's really good. He is in the toughest division, but what people are forgetting now is this: he has the same record as one of these very high ranked teams. So don't count him out for anything yet.
When I saw him on my schedule, he's 0-2. Man, I mean, he's got a good team for being 0-2, and he beat me. He put up 160. Great week out of him. Moves up to 1-2. He's a good team. I mean, he's in the best division. What do you expect, honestly? So overall, he's got a good team. I feel like the ranking is fair, so I won't say he's immediately in the top half, but he has a lot of potential with this roster.
Number 9 here, I mean, again, he doesn't move from his spot despite a convincing win over somebody who was above him. We have Evan. He beat Logan by like 40-something points. Honestly, he's also 1-2. Again, like we said with Mickey, we're looking for consistency. I think the only thing holding Evan back right now is his record. Obviously, that division, it's not easy. It's obviously not the West, but I mean, there are some good teams in that division. But I think Evan will benefit from playing teams outside of his division.
I look at his roster. I see Tyreek Hill at the flex. I'm like, dude, this isn't 2020, bro. It's 2025. So that's all I got to say.
Again, no movement here at number 8, despite another solid week and a win. We have Ryan. He's actually 2-1. Honestly, I don't understand why teams put Chase and Logan ahead of him. I mean, maybe Logan, but I don't understand why you would put Chase ahead of him. I think Ryan has proved himself. I think he's one of the most, if not the most underrated team here. I really love his running backs. I think he's got a great squad.
I look at his bench. I don't know if I'm looking at a hospital or a football team. He's got a lot of injuries. It's going to be hard to come back from some. I mean, he's got a team. Give him that.
We're actually going to skip number 7, and we're going to go straight to number 6. We have a tie for 6th place. We have Logan and Chase. Let's start with Logan. He moves back 3 spots. This was a tough divisional loss against Tappy. Logan could be 3-0 right now with a better week, but, I mean, he didn't get that. Evan had a great week. And then we see Logan immediately after his first loss, the first moment he faces adversity, makes a panic trade. I don't understand why, but with that being said, I think he's still better than Chase.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. I mean, Logan had one bad performance. He was literally losing his mind. I mean, it's one bad performance. You're gonna have bad performances every other week in fantasy. It's okay. So a couple of trades he makes. So we'll see how those pan out. Can't be starting Romeo Dobbs though.
Logan is definitely a trader. He's not afraid to do it. He does it quite often. Sometimes you just got to stick with your guys. I mean, he's got a team. Like I said with Ryan, dished off Lamar Jackson, I wouldn't be happy about. Although in his eyes, he ends up with Jaden Daniels and some depth there. He's still a very solid team. So
let's move on to the other person tied at sixth place. We have Chase. Tough week for him. He's now 1-2 after another bad week. And that trade, that Omarion Hampton for Tony Pollard trade, it's already haunting him. Obviously, Hampton's performance versus Pollard's wouldn't have changed anything this week. He still would have lost. But I mean, you totally just lost one of who I think is going to be one of the best running backs in the league for a player on the Titans. It just doesn't make too much sense to me. But I digress. Obviously, tough performances from some of your top guys. I think Chase will bounce back from this. He's, like we said before, he's a good fantasy player. He dominated in the regular season last year. I think he's just struggled to find his footing so far this year. I think he's going to be fine.
I don't know why you just don't say he's sixth place. I mean, what's with the tie? But I mean, there's first for everything. Chase has a good team. Yeah. So
Chase, lackluster performance this week. Malik Neighbors only 2 receptions for 13 yards. And now he's got quarterback troubles. Russell Wilson has been benched for Jackson Dart. That's pretty dangerous. And
Danger Russ.
What?
Danger Russ, baby.
So Zay Flowers back to midseason form, only putting up 3.3. I mean, is anyone surprised? This is what he does to you every year. He has a good performance and then he's bad. I mean, Chase, after that Hampton trade, I just don't know what to think about his team. I don't think it's that good, to be honest. I don't like Jacobs. I know Nate loves him, but I don't like him.
What's there not to like? I mean, this guy is a machine on the goal line. You just hand it to him and he's in. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you for that, Carson. At number 5, moving up 2 slots after a win against a pretty bad team, but it was a good divisional win nonetheless. We have Donovan here at number 5. I personally think he's the front runner in the East, despite losing to Noah and having a worse record than Noah. I think Donovan has great running backs. He's got Gibbs, you got Bucky Irving. That's a great core to start with. You can kind of build your team around that. I think he's done a nice job with that so far. But yeah, I mean, I think Donovan's a good team. I think he deserves his number 5 spot, and I look forward to his matchup this week.
You know who we're talking about. Talking about Donnie. I mean, he's got a lot of confidence in his guys. He's got a good team. He said he's coming this week. I'm playing him, so I'll be ready. I guess apparently he doesn't just think he's better than Noah. He knows. So
I mean, Don is a very confident manager. I mean, he's talking shit about my team when I'm not even playing him, talking about, oh, you're not even going to put up 100. But I do agree. I think he does have a better roster than me. So we'll see what happens in the rematch, and we'll see if he can overtake me.
I feel like it's a lot of bark and not a lot of bite. Like this guy, yeah, I'll beat you. Doesn't beat me this week.
Oh, okay.
We will get into our pregame predictions later on this podcast. It's coming up soon, but let's go to number 4 here. We got Big Dids. We got Noah T here at number 4. He moves up 2 spots. He remains in front of Donovan after that win against him. He's 3-0. He's one of the 2 3-0 teams left. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. He's won the games that he's had to. He hasn't put up the most stellar numbers, which is why he's still number 4 despite his undefeated record. But I mean, you got to give him credit. He's 3-0. I mean, ball don't lie. He's won 3 games and lost 0.
I didn't think I would be this high, but I guess I am because I won again. I don't know what beating Joe shows anyone, but I guess the teams in front of me lost, so I get to move up.
Noah 3-0. I think it's well deserved. Don't think the team is deserving, but the record does not lie. This guy is a team of unks. I mean, struggling at QB. So
how is JSN and how is A-Chain an unk?
Oh, A-Chain is an unk. You see that helmet he wears, bro?
Let's move on to number 3. If you haven't noticed yet, the big 3 from the week 1 podcast is back. You got the big 3 in the West. You got me. You got Carson. You got Lem. Here at number 3, moving back 2 slots. It's a former number 1. We have Lem. After a tough loss, this makes sense. You don't want to move him too far back. We know Lem's a good team. And despite his best player putting up a donut due to injury, he still put up, I believe, about 100 points. I mean, this is a good effort from Lem. Obviously, you expect better from your team. But I think, I mean, every team's going to have an off week. I just think that was what it was for Lem. I do have worries about CeeDee Lamb. Now that he's hurt, he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. I'm interested to see how Lamb treats that. I mean, you're 1-2. The situation would be a lot easier if he was 3-0. Unfortunately, he's kind of got to start racking up these wins to assure that he makes the playoffs. Also kind of worried about Chase Brown. I mean, that was a tough performance from the Bengals against the Vikings. I mean, it seems like without Joe Burrow, Chase Brown in the passing game at least is basically non-existent. Definitely some concerns there.
I think when CeeDee Lamb is playing, he has a very good team. I think he needs to trade Chase Brown ASAP. I don't like him at all. But I think he does have a very good team. And he's double flexing tight ends right now. So that's kind of interesting. You don't see that. You saw that last year from my team when I was last in the league. So I
Also going
think
to
you see
point
that
that
have
out.
a very
Looking at
good team.
Pride and Ertz, two tight ends in the lineup. Very low upside. I mean, it's got solid floor though. But looking at the team without CD, he's got Roma Dunze stepping into the one. I mean, he's been balling. You can't even deny it. He's been balling. I thought DJ Moore would have a bigger role thus far. Okay. But DJ Moore would have a bigger role. Looks like with Ben Johnson there, Rome is really stepping into his own year two. Good player. He'll definitely be getting targets, catches, should be guaranteed at least 15 points.
Number 2, it's between me and Carson. This one makes sense. We have the 1 and 2 phenom, our special guest for the week. Despite losing, he moves up 3 slots after a pretty convincing performance. We have Carson here. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Despite this loss, he put up the second most points. I think Carson's in a good spot despite his record. I think this week he really showed the strength of his roster. I think a lot of people were having doubts after last week, and I think Carson proved him wrong. I think Carson's going to do a lot better now that he's facing teams outside of this monster division. But I actually challenged Carson. He hasn't made that many moves. I'd like to see him show an ability to improve his roster through trades, through waivers, whatever it takes. Carson's team is great. It can be even better.
I agree. I think Carson has a really good team. I think what's interesting is even though Carson's 1 and 2, he's second, while Mickey is also 1 and 2 and he's 10th. So just kind of interesting how preseason perception and week 1 perception influenced the pollers here.
I mean, in my opinion, I did not expect myself to be number 2 here. Record alone, I am 1 and 2, but if you do look at points, I have the second most points in the whole league. Lemon has the most points in the league. He's number 3, but I think with that CD injury, that's fair. And then for myself, Derrick Henry and James Cook, I mean, 2 top running backs starting up there for me. A little nervous about Justin Jefferson early. He's gotten at least 11 points every week, so the target share is there. Right now, I prefer Wentz over McCarthy, obviously. And for me, it's like if I can get through each week without an injury, I'm okay. Like I'm progressing with no injuries so far. I'm gonna knock on wood right there. But a little concerned about Kelsey. I mean, he's old. He's not the same guy he used to be. But Jalen Hurts showed up, proved the doubters. Overall, good week.
Number 1, it's your boy. I move up after another win against the number 1 ranked team. This is my second week in a row where I beat the number 1 ranked team. So now I fill that role. It makes sense. I mean, I didn't have a crazy week this week, but I mean, defense wins championships. I have by far the least amount of points allowed. I believe I only have about 270. But I'm walking into a trap game next week. I mean, you got 1 versus number 11 in Joseph. Joseph's 0-3. I'm 3-0. It would be a shame if I lost that game, but I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. I do think this trade with Mickey helped me out a lot.
On deserved number 1. He's the 3-0 team in the best division. But it is just kind of interesting how no one can seem to score against him. I mean, Lemon goes 150 or 140, 140, 100. Carson goes 150, 100, 150. So just some strange devil magic going on there.
Mickey put up 70 against me as well.
Mhm.
So this guy has guys putting up 70, 100, and 80. I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. So I will say it's well deserved. Obviously, 3-0, best division. I don't know, deserved.
Well, that wraps up the AP coaches poll. Let's move into our final segment here, the week 3 predictions. Let's start off with me versus Joseph. I mean, obviously, it's worked for me so far. I'm going to continue to pick myself. I'm 3-0. This is not going to be as easy as a game as it might seem. I'm sure Joseph has some tricks up his sleeve. My guys need to remain consistent. I sure hope they do so, and I expect they will. I'm going to give myself the edge in this one.
I'm gonna pick the underdog to come and beat Colin and continue the number 1 seed curse of losing every week.
I'm gonna go Colin here. It's pretty straightforward. Joe has a weak team. Colin has a solid team.
Moving on to a matchup we've already seen, we have Chase versus Evan. Chase came out victorious in this matchup in week 1. They had to replay each other just based on how the scheduling worked. I think Evan wins this. I think Evan has the better team. He had a better week this week. I think this new team Chase has is just not as good. I don't think it's as effective. I think he only won because Zay Flowers popped off. I think Evan returns the favor and evens up the season series. He moves to 2-2 and picks up his second win of the year.
I like Evan in this one. I think the Eagles are going to have to pass against the Bucks, so I like Evan to win.
Give me Evan.
Clean sweep despite Chase being the better ranked team. That's pretty interesting. Let's move on to Logan versus Ryan. Obviously, this was another matchup we've already seen in week 1. Logan came out victorious. I'm going to stick with Ryan. I think Ryan has a better team. I think Logan is going to really regret this trade that he made. I will say I think GT will do well against my Bears. The Bears' run defense sucks. I wouldn't be surprised if GT finds the end zone, but I'm still going to give Ryan the edge. I think he's the better team, and I like him more.
I mean, might be the toughest one to pick all week. I'm gonna go Ryan because it would be funnier if Logan lost this after the trade.
As much as I want to pick Ryan here, I'm really pulling for him. I just don't see how Logan loses with Jamar Chase. He's not going to put up another bad week, so I'm going to go Logan.
Let's move on to the battle of 1 and 2. We have Zach versus Mickey. Let's keep this one short and simple. I think Mickey runs Zach through the mud. I think this is going to be an ass whooping. No more comments.
Yep.
As much as I'd like to agree, I do agree.
Noah versus Lemon, 3-0 versus 1-2. Lem is ranked higher in the AP coaches poll for a reason. Give me Lem to hand Noah his first loss of the year. I'm sure Noah's going to say the exact same thing. I think Lem is one of the better teams. I'm worried about the CeeDee Lamb. I'm worried about Chase Brown. It doesn't matter. This is going to be a huge win for Lem, and it's going to give Donovan a chance to take control of his division.
Yeah. I think the stinker is coming for my team. I think the 70-point performance. Every week I postpone it. It gets closer. It's coming at some point. So I'm gonna pick Lemon because the 70-pointer is coming.
Although you guys want to pick Lemon, I'm picking Noah here. He's a lucky guy. No one thought he'd be 3-0. He's going to be 4-0. I don't want to say it, but watch, it'll happen.
Now, our final matchup, we called this one the matchup of the week. Carson Nay ranks number 2, going against Donovan, number 5 in the AP poll. This is a good matchup. These two teams have some history against each other. These guys go way back to the OLV days. I'm very excited to watch this matchup unfold. I'm pulling for Donovan. I'm not going to lie. I'm sick of seeing Noah at the top of his division, and I sure as hell don't want to see Carson, who I know is a good competitor. I don't want to see him start crawling up the leaderboard. Despite what I think in Carson having one of the best, if not the best, most well-rounded rosters, I'm going to go with Donovan. Let's go, Don. Let's go, Prez. Come on, Don. Let's go.
Donovan has a tough choice to make this week. He's gonna have to either start or sit the Ravens defense. Give me Team Don to upset Nay. Sorry, Nay.
A lot of history here. These two teams talk a lot back and forth. It gets chippy sometimes. I won't lie. Comes down to whoever wants it more, whoever can back up their talk. I'd be foolish to not go with myself, but seeing what I'm capable of, I might go Don here. I mean, as much as I want to go myself, it's hard to pick with the team that's Kelsey. I just don't like Kelsey, but he's got Pat Mahomes, Gibbs. I mean, two good players right there. Obviously, Don is coming in very, very complacent. He's 2-1, but he obviously wants to win this. This is a rivalry game. The matchup of the week has never lived up. I mean, it's never lived up. So this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think we're going to see duds all around both teams, but I think Don squeezes it out. I was kidding myself, bro. Like, Donovan? Are you kidding me? Who is this guy? He thinks he can walk in here with Jahmyr Gibbs and Bucky Irving? I'm sorry, but both those guys are splitting carries in their backfields. You got Pat Mahomes, throws a touchdown to Kelsey. I'm getting more points. I'm saying it. So I got the best running back in the league. No one wants to agree. I'm not going to say Henry. I'm going James Cook, best running back in the league right now. Jalen Hurts, he can really run the ball. I'm not going to say he can sling it, but he can run the ball. So I think we got to go with myself here. It's going to be tight. I mean, we got a history, so it'll be the matchup of the week. I may have lost a few battles in my past weeks, but this game is the war. This is the war, and I will win.
Here for one reason, discuss the matchup of the week. Me versus Carson. I'm number 5 in the power rankings. Carson's number 2. I don't know how he's number 2 when he has 2 losses, but, just want to come on here and say, Carson, you are getting straight belt this week in fantasy. It's not even going to be close. So you better get ready. You're about to be 1-3.
Another week in the books and another great podcast.
I mean, this is the podcast no one asked for, but everyone needed.
Okay.
I just want to give a special shout out to Carson Nay for coming on to the podcast. Carson, any final thoughts?
I'm coming.
Well said. Tune in next week for another great podcast and another special guest. Maybe we'll get Gabe. Maybe we'll
Hopefully
get somebody who we actually want to see. Just wait and find out. Thank you. Tune in next week. Good luck this week. Go get them, boys.